Yo guys, and welcome to our new track guide. This week we are at Red Bull Ring and in the Porsche at around 23 degrees and cloudy weather. So, starting off with that beautiful machinery, sounding even more beautiful arguably, we have driven a 27.0. Heading towards turn 1, I can already say that was really, let's say, conservative, because I was already crashing out due to track limits there. I think I have done approximately 50 laps in multiple sessions, and I think I got like 2 valid or something. Like I'm completely, I completely lost my mind doing it, because the track limits are literally bullying drivers just because they want to. So we are conservative here, still going to the left as far as possible, as long as the right tires don't leave the curb. It's all good. Braking a bit before 100 with all cars pretty much. We steer at 50, start to slowly steer, and then we go close to that curb but not touching it, like really close in on there, but don't touch it, like that will unsettle your car. As long as you're not driving the Bentley, I think that could even survive this, but in general, don't do it. And then for the exit, you see it was quite conservative. Don't leave this curb with your right tires too, because that will invalidate your lap, and you will have 1.5 around minutes of frustration going back to try once again. Yeah, heading towards turn 3, we brake at the second stripe on the floor. Which is visible from here, because that last one is like, well, yeah. We brake here at, yeah, 150 around, maybe a little later. Like, depending on your car, obviously, and with the Porsche you can brake a bit later, obviously, anyway. And brake, like, send it pretty much. Steer as late as possible that you get a good run out of it. Use that curb on the inside for rotation, and then floor it as soon as you get the grip. Like, don't floor it too quickly, because if you start applying full throttle here already, you will rather spin or get straight, especially with front engine cars. That's quite a problem. So just go slowly onto the gas and then send it. That was quite the same procedure. The track is quite repetitive at all. Brake a bit before 100. Slam down the gears if you want to. We start to think about steering at around 50 once again. Don't steer too much, because the corner closes down later on, so we steer only as much to make the car rotate, and then we can drift through and send it out pretty much. Tapping the gravel is not optimal, but on the other hand, Um, it's just a sign that you use the track completely, pretty much, and it's like as painful as not using the blue. So it's not bad. Like if you hit the gravel, the lap is not ruined, definitely. And now we are approaching the two left-handers. We brake a bit before 50. Shift down. And try to keep it close to the inside. We can go onto that, but don't touch the grass. And try to get a line that allows you to hit the throttle as early as possible. Same thing goes for the next, where we whip it around like we do some quite heavy steering input. Let's see from the inside. Yeah, so we have one quite rough steering input. Try to not hit the grass, and then floor it as soon as you are straightened up with that forest, pretty much. You can floor it completely so that you get out as far as possible, without touching the gravel though. Even though the lap is not immediately invalidated if you do. Like, it's not problematic in that regard, but it's quite robbing you the momentum you definitely need for the next straight, which then leads into the last two corners. For this one, we brake between 150, like 85 maybe. We can go to third with most cars, but staying in fourth is also fine if you get through it quick enough, pretty much. We go over the curb on the inside as much as we want. As far to the left as possible without invalidating it, which starts at these white triangles. Go to the right before turning in, because if we brake or drive over this high area of triangles, like it's a bit elevated, you see, which is too much for GT3 cars, we will bounce around. So we go a bit to the right, like this, and then we brake and throw it into the corner. With some cars you can ignore these triangles, but with the Aston or the Porsche, for example, I would not incentivize it, because you will just bump like a kangaroo. But here we have some rough braking input, and then whip the steering around, drift over this. It can unsettle the car sometimes, but if you don't go too far over it, it should be fine. And then we floor it before it being straightened. Like, we hit the throttle before even the apex, like no brake and throttle, so that we get all the momentum we can out of this. And then we have done one lap of Red Bull Ring, which we are not invalidating because we are not going too far out here.